Are they gonna have to give Anthony Schwartz the Percy Harvin package?
Is he good at that? That's the thing with Anthony Schwartz. I don't know what he's good at on the football field.
I'm trying to figure it out.
Like that's the problem I have with drafting a player like him is all right.
Yo, listen, that was thousands right there. That right there was thousands. That was like, yo, that was it. Listen, the first one I was like, oh, he ain't getting better than the first one. That second one came around, I said, oh, yeah, this going to be fire. It's fire. He giving out stories he ain't never gave out before.
So what G. Bush is talking about is I have been trying to record this show for the last 30 minutes, but something has gone wrong both times, so which we have lost the footage to both of these, and we have had pretty good runs here.
Epic.
But, we're going to try to go here. This is the third time that we're recording this, but it's the first time that you're seeing this. This is GBQC. I am the QC part of that equation. This is the GB part of this equation. We are going to be talking about, this weekend we're talking about wide receivers and Grand Delpit, specifically on the defensive side of the ball. There's a lot to talk about, G. I'm going to just act just like it's the first time again, man. How are you doing, bud?
I'm doing good. It's the first time I hadn't talked to you since 30 seconds ago, but I'm doing good. We were talking about it before, but I had to let him know. He made a comment on his platform about me having a hat on, and he thought that, I couldn't come back without no joints. You know what I'm saying? I had to get myself the situation together. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to shame G. Bush until he come here with full dreadlocks. That's what I want to see.
No, that's not.
I want to see you back to your playing days. Let's get them dreads back.
I had them. Listen. I tried that experiment. It just did not work. Bro, the experiment just did my backs don't even lock up. It's just they won't lock. My sides be looking kind of funny. It just don't work out the same way, man. And then plus you get older. Man, you can't be older in the in-between game. You can't have in-between hair trying to do business and talk to people. You can't. Yeah. It ain't long enough. It ain't long enough to tie up in nothing. It ain't. It's short. It's too short to brush. You just hey, bro, what's going on up there?
People underestimate the strength of that freshman year of college, man. You can start a whole new path for yourself that freshman year because you can have the little ugly half dreads, the little in between game things. Yeah, you can have them your freshman year. Nobody's gonna be looking at that. But once you get into your junior senior year, people gonna be like, either you got the full thing or you don't, bro. You can't be out here deciding now. I'm just saying. So if anybody in here is thinking about doing something life changing with their hair, and you're a freshman in college, this is the time, brother. This is it. It is the time. Your freshman year of college is the time. In high school, it is the time. Because once you get to 25, you are locked into 3 cuts. 3 cuts, which turns into 2 once you turn 30. You are locked in.
And you got to talk about facial hair too. You ain't got no time to be trying to grow in a little patchy little something. Mm-hmm. You got all this little. They be like, you got dandruff on your face. Mm-hmm. I'm like, nah, that's my little shadow down there. It's like, no. You 40, dog. If you ain't got it by now, you ain't getting it.
And look, the beard genetics got to be strong to get away with it because, luckily for me, I can shave this whole thing, be back in 2 weeks, and ain't like it's nothing. You know what I mean? But some people take a month. Take you a month. Just grow the beard, keep it. Take care of it. Get some oil, some balm, some good treatments, some Cantu, all of that.
Shut up. Cantu. This is about 14 years right here. 14 years straight right here. Straight.
14 years.
Straight.
2 weeks
all day.
Here.
Look,
2 weeks right here.
Hey, don't pull a Jimmy Butler. Don't pull don't pull no Jimmy Butler either. I'm watching you. He came back with full length dreadlocks. He came back looking like Jadeveon Clowney playing shooting guard. I said, Jimmy Butler, are you serious? Did you get them sewn in? He got them boys smooth sewn in. I'm telling you, Q.
Look, man, it's a lot of people out here doing that nowadays. You know what I mean? It's out here. And look, if I make fun of your hat one more time, I wouldn't be surprised if G. Bush grew full-length dreadlocks in 2 weeks. Talk about some this natural. Nah, it's a weave. I know it is. I ain't going to expose you like that.
Link. Hey, I thought about doing it.
I thought about
doing it. I ain't gonna lie. Especially during the quarantine.
If I went bald, if I was like bald, like I might have to get one of them pieces where it just looks like I got my hair. But I ain't there yet, thankfully. I ain't there yet, you know.
Hey, back in the quarantine, you could get that off. You just show up. You've been in the house 2.5 years. You come back with all kind of flowing. I'm like Goldilocks.
Another underrated era, right? Look, if we go into another quarantine, that is the time to make radical changes to your hair, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, just come back out and nobody's going to question it. But it's the process that people don't want to see, right? But if you come back out with it, I'm just saying, man. I almost went blind. I almost went blind during the pandemic, but I thought against it.
There's a lot of stuff that people was doing in the privacy of their own homes that if you look back at it, you was like, what the hell was that? No. You can't get that off no more. I'm glad they started making people come out their house too. People's getting crazy. Walmart ain't even came back yet.
Walmart ain't been 24/7 since the pandemic, and we don't talk about that enough. The pandemic took away 24-hour Walmarts, and we have just accepted this as society, and I can't accept this. You know what I mean? Bring back 24-hour Walmarts. We need somewhere to go when I need Milk Duds, a PS4 controller, and maybe a video game.
And ping pong balls. You can just get whatever. Maybe
I'm going to have what if I need Drano and a new shirt? Ain't nowhere I could go. Yeah, like where am I gonna go at 1 o'clock in the morning?
They talk about last call. Last call is 9:30. What?
And don't let them use the pandemic as an excuse for not keeping that Walmart open 24 hours.
That's messed up.
Yeah. I keep you. I see Planet Fitness still got a 24-hour policy, so the pandemic didn't stop it. You just stopped at Walmart. You know, we putting that pressure. We do what's important here on this show. We apply the pressure to big corporations when they decide to take away 24-hour shopping.
Big tech.
You know
Big tech, I mean? We got to talk about you. And now that gas is less than $4, I should be able to pull up anytime now. It's $3.35. I think that's cheap.
All right, this is the last off-topic thing that I promise you we're going to talk about football. But why are all gas stations open 24/7 when you handle it yourself? Like, why do I have to have some dude in there to get $20 of gas on my debit card? Like, you ever been driving? Like, because I used to drive Cleveland Youngstown a lot. And man, it be scary pulling into some of these gas stations. You don't know if they're gonna be working. Anyways, let's talk about the offense. Let's talk about these wide receivers, man.
All right, wideouts, man.
You know, speaking of hair, this is a little bit of a hairy situation to have a wide receiver. We've heard a lot about Mike Woods. We've heard a lot about David Bell. Who is your guy that you're looking forward to seeing if they can make either the 53 or an impact this year?
Man, it's kind of cheating because I seen the Mike. Well, I was looking forward to Isaiah Weston, but this guy decides to just be like out forever. So we'll move right along. To me, this may seem bad, but it's Donovan Peoples-Jones, man. Like, because they done penciled him in like. He just done had like 900 or 1,000 yards. Like, he is definitely a number 2, and he is signed, sealed, and delivered. I don't get that, but people have been acting like he's that dude. Like, he's just, and I get it. He looked the part. You go to camp, and you be seeing him. He got the number. He got the build. He got the visor. He looked like he should just be a bona fide AFC North receiver that just going to bring down about 75 catches. It's somewhere from 850 to 970 yards and about 4 to 5 touchdowns, and he give you that every year. But unfortunately, his look does not match up with his production, bro. So if he's going to be the only one out there, and Amari Cooper hurt, and Schwartz is hurt, and David Bell is hurt, and you don't have any guys that are kind of like solidified, I need to see Donovan Peoples-Jones be a legitimate somewhere between. There's a lot of second receivers that he should be able to line up with. I watch A.J. Brown all the time and be like, yeah, A.J. Brown looks like he should be good. And he is. Donovan Peoples-Jones looks like he should be good. And he was in high school. And he had kind of flashes in college. I just need him to consistently do that here, man.
Yeah, the thing with Donovan Peoples-Jones, right, and I'm going to talk about this on Monday in my wide receiving review video, is like, he's so talented in the demonstrable ways. Like, he can make the acrobatic catches that people are always going to expect more of him. But the problem is sometimes he makes those acrobatic catches to make up for an athletic deficiency, right? Like, I saw people gushing about a catch he made in camp where he was coming out his break and he dove and caught it. Too? Yeah. And I was like, that's cool. But he came out his break so slow he had to dive and catch the ball. So it was like, it's like sometimes he makes these plays not because he's a great athlete, but because he's not a great athlete, which doesn't make sense if we just think of, we like to think of athleticism as this guy's athletic at all the athletic things. Some people are good coming out their breaks. Some people are slow. Some people are good maintaining their balance while falling down and catching a football. Some people can't, but they can run faster and are quicker, right? That's Donovan Peoples-Jones' thing, is like he can make an acrobatic catch. He can jump. He's good at body control. But coming out of his breaks, he's a little slow, right? He's not the quickest guy in the world when it comes to that. So you got to be careful with where in the route tree you run him, right? He's probably somebody you want running, 8s, 9s? Well, not even 9s because he's not super fast. But 8s,
he got a lot of people on him. I mean, he's not really if you playing coverage on him, you're not really worried about him just running past you, man. Like, I'm low-key sitting on everything under 8 or 9. Like, I'm sitting on all that 7 stuff. Yeah. You going to have to beat me deep a few times.
They're not going to cheat the numbers on Donovan Peoples-Jones when they play him, right? Like, they're going to let him have the numbers and play the outside and then just give him a cushion. Like, that's the thing with him. You got to have somebody who could take the pressure off of Donovan Peoples-Jones in that wide receiving room because he can't cut quickly. He can't do those routes. So that's where Amari Cooper is important, because everything that Donovan Peoples-Jones does not have, he has. And then Donovan Peoples-Jones can do the stuff that Amari Cooper's not great at, right? Amari Cooper, not great 50-50 ball guy, right? But that's what Donovan Peoples-Jones is for.
He's not a high point type dude.
He's not going to high point the ball. But he's quick. He can make those cuts, and all those in routes, trouble. Right, that's where he gets you in trouble. Like, Amari Cooper is a guarantee that you're going to get 5 yards if you throw it to him 2 times. Right, like you're going to get that out of him. But that's really the issue with Donovan Peoples-Jones is I think everybody wants him to be something that he's just not. And what he is a guy who's probably going to get you 600 to 800 yards. He's a lower end version of what Martavis Bryant was when he was on the Steelers, where Martavis was doing that freak stuff on the side, but he was only really running like 4 or 5 routes. That's what he's going to do. But that's kind of going to be his role. And he can be good at that role. He could be excellent at that role.
He's like a more athletic, like less physical Anquan Bolden. Like, Anquan Bolden is like, but Anquan Bolden would just bully ball you. He'd be like, yeah, I'm playing basketball and I'm about to back you down. And anything up in here, I'm going to be physical. Donovan Peoples-Jones isn't a quick twitch athlete like that. He's not no like sudden. He doesn't have a lot of suddenness to what he's doing. But, I mean, he can win with some of that stuff. He can win with certain things. Another dude I'm looking forward to is are they going to have to give Anthony Schwartz the Percy Harvin package?
Is he good at that? That's the thing with Anthony Schwartz. I don't know what he's good at on the football field.
I'm trying to figure it out.
Like that's the problem I have with drafting a player like him is I understand that you might be good at certain things, right? And Anthony Schwartz is good at running fast on the track. But what's up?
No, I said he's good at one thing.
Yeah, and running fast on the track. But it's like, I don't know if he's good at anything on the football field because you're giving him the end arounds. He's not good at them. You've given him the runs. He's not a great runner of the football. He doesn't see the field. He's not. I mean, I saw him.
How you gonna be bad at end arounds? Like it's only
what he doesn't cut. He doesn't cut the corner. That's what I'm talking about. Like, you get there, and when you get the end around, you get a running start, and then you cut. You cut at the hash or the numbers, whichever one is furthest out, closest to the tackle, and you decide, are you going to cut and run this off tackle or in between the guard? Like, are you taking B or C? Like, which gap? You got to take a gap. He ran that thing all the way out to the sideline, and I'm like, that's not what you're supposed to do at the end around. You see Jarvis Landry at 4'8", 40 Jarvis Landry. He take them end arounds. What Jarvis do with them end arounds? Straight through the guard. He don't he scrapes. He basically scrapes like a DN, right? He comes over. Yeah, he comes in and he scrapes so close to the line of scrimmage and he just cuts. That's what you're supposed to do. When you see a dude take an end around, unless they're Odell Beckham Jr., right? Because Odell got away with this because he's a freak athlete where he took that end around and then just popped the corner and still scored. Like,
all right, I'm out.
Yeah, because he's special in that way. And he's special as a runner with the football in his hands. And he could juke and he's physical. But when it comes to Anthony Schwartz, man, he popped that thing out and he didn't curve. He did a diagonal. Like, and if his hips aren't loose enough for him to get around, like if he's too stiff to cut at that speed, what you gonna do with him on the end around? Jakeem Grant's much better at it. So it's like
I would run that. I would rather see Demetric Felton run it. Like
honestly, like that's not a bad idea, right? Yeah. He's a running back, and that's the thing. Like, not only are these guys better at running the end around, they're not guaranteed to run the end around when they're in the game, right? Like when Anthony Schwartz is in the game, two things, dog. Two things. I don't care what position, what the defensive call is. If I'm the nickel corner and not Donovan, Anthony Schwartz is out there, I'm backing up 2 steps. I'm in zone, but I'm following.
And basically alerting. I got an alert too.
Hey, up, stay off, and then if he moves over, either decide if you're going to communicate that down line or you just going to follow that yourself, right?
Because I don't know what routes I mean, it's like you ever see like in cartoons when you be running and it seems like people be running in places but like you standing there and Scooby Dooing yourself in one spot and you're like, bro, listen, my man Anthony Schwartz, you might just be like you gave an example like Odell and Jarvis, like if they was playing NBA Street, right, or you was playing 2-hand touch below the waist in the street. They ain't running 4.2s, but like game speed wise, maneuverability wise, you can't touch them. Like they just be like, they got to lose. With him, it just seems like he runs a 4.5 or something. I don't see it because he's not that fluent.
Here's the difference between game speed and football speed. And people forget this all the time. When you're running fast on a track, nobody's going to hit you. Right. And I know sometimes for some people getting hit might make them run faster, but think about it like this. The faster you run, the harder you're going to fall. Right. So there has to be a level of I don't care how much I get hit or how much it's going to hurt to run full speed on a football field full of people like. Because if Anthony Schwartz runs full speed, he's going a legit 22, 23 miles per hour.
Oh, yeah.
Getting hit by somebody running a legit 20 miles. That's a small level car crash, right? So you have to be okay with that. And some dudes just, hey, man, I ain't going to rep up that fast just so I could get hit that hard. Like, that's a mental aspect of it that people don't think about when they go, oh, this guy ran 4.3. But whenever you see somebody who runs 4.2 at the combine, but you see them on tape and they running 4.5, you're going to get that 4.5 on film on the football field because they know they're going to get hit and they ain't trying to run that fast and get hit. Like, it's a mental thing at that point. Have you ever seen him
make a cut? Have you ever seen him make a speed cut? Have you ever seen him give you a stop and go?
Look, I would love to see it. I hope he proves me wrong and makes me look like a complete idiot. And in 12 months, everybody's like, oh, H like milk, Quincy. This is a terrible one. You guys don't know. I hope he does make me look like an idiot, right? Because I would love nothing more than Anthony Schwartz to pan out and be what he is. But as of right now, I have to evaluate what I've seen on the football field, and it just hasn't been impressive. Like, I hope when we see David Bell, because his tape, I love his tape. I love how fast he looks on tape. Like, but he doesn't run fast in the combine. I would deal with that problem that David Bell has 9 times out of 10. But that's also my preference at wide receiver, right? I would rather have guys who are more skilled at the position than guys like Hollywood Brown, who can run fast and he'll get like 800 to 900 yards, but you're always going to want more out of him. I would rather have Keenan Allen, right? Who's always going to get you 5 if you need it, right? Or DeAndre Hopkins or Mike Evans. Cooper Kupp. Well, Mike Evans is a freak because he got like a 7'2" wingspan, so I don't want to compare it to anybody.
He'd be like 6'7".
Yeah.
He Cooper
Kupp. Jarvis Landry. I mean, like, these are dudes who are not burners by any means. I think the fastest guy out of all this is Cooper Kupp at 4.6, right? And they find a way to get open, and those are the dudes who you can rely on because they're skilled. But that's just a personal preference at the position here. But yeah, that's kind of the thing with the wide receiving room, the concerns that we have about certain players.